Say good morning, Shane.
Hi.
Say good morning. You excited to go on the trip?
Mm-hmm.
Are you? Gonna have fun?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, high five it, man. Right, let's go. Let's get packing on stuff. All right? Good morning, you two. How's everybody doing this morning? It's bright, sunshiny early. It's the day that we leave to go on our Daniel Boone backcountry byway trip with Trailspin TV and a bunch of other folks. And spent the last couple of weeks getting the Jeep ready for the trip. Being a 2018 JL, there's not a ton of accessories out there for it yet, especially when you want to look at roof racks and some of the storage options. So had to put together one of our own and added a few other accessories to get ready for the trip. And just wanted to do a quick walk around, kind of show everybody what we did and see if that helps somebody else figure out what they want to do to their Jeep. So stay tuned. I appreciate you guys this morning. It's nice, bright and early, 65 degrees out. Going to be a beautiful day and a beautiful weekend. And let me show you what we did. So to get ready for the trip, we had to add some storage. 3 days, 3 of us, myself, my 2 sons, and the dog. And so we had to add some storage so we could take all the camping gear, food, all that good kind of fun stuff. Communications, had to get a CB radio in there so we could talk to the rest of the group on the trail. And a few other things to help, little creature comforts, but mostly storage and communication are what we spent our time adding this week. Other than that, this is a stock 2018 JL Rubicon, so no lift kit, no bigger tires. There's just the standard Rubicon as it comes from the factory. And let's get started. Let me show you what we added here. The big thing that I think most people are going to be interested in is a roof rack. So there's really not, I think there's only one choice out there for roof racks right now as of this date, which is, July 27th. I know other manufacturers are working on stuff, but there's not a whole lot out there. So what we ended up having to do here, and let me flip this around and show you, was that we ended up having to put together kind of our own roof rack and trying to figure out what would fit, what wouldn't fit. Needed to get some crossbars, which we found some crossbars, and I'll put links to all this stuff in the description. But we found some crossbars from a company called Proline, and they're actually pretty decent crossbars. They're not super heavy duty, and they're not super finished like what you get out of the Mopars or the Yakimas or the Tule's. But I think they're going to get the job done. You can get a set of these crossbars for $70. Basically $70. You get a set. They hold 185 pounds. A little rough around the edges, but they seem to be pretty solid. So as you can see, what we did, I put the crossbars on and they attach right to the gutter mount. So I took, trying to make sure that our basket was going to stay still while we were going down the trail and going down the road, and kind of take some of the noise out. I took and wrapped the crossbar with some foam from your local hardware store, Lowe's, Home Depot, wherever, that's meant for insulating pipes in your house. So I'll show you a piece of that here in a second. But you take that, I just took and zip tied it on and then set the basket on top. Now the basket comes from a company called Discount Racks. Sorry about that traffic going by this morning. Discount Racks. The basket's about 62 inches long and about 4 foot wide. So it's a pretty decent amount of space up there. And I'm going to change the camera angle a little bit here, see if I can come in over top and give you a little bit better shot. But the basket it comes from China, and one of the things I read in the reviews was that when you get it, it's going to be pretty beat up, which they were absolutely correct. The box here, the box is right here going in the recycling today, but as you can see, This thing was beat up. The corners are ripped and torn. This thing looks like it was, drugged behind the UPS truck on the way here. So the basket arrived with some dings in the paint. Some folks in the reviews have said theirs has showed up dented. Nothing unusable. Just got to do a little fixing. So that's what we did. We I took some sandpaper, scuffed up the basket, coated it with the Rust-Oleum bed liner in a can. Again, you get this Lowe's, Home Depot, Menards, Farm & Fleet. Gives it a nice look that kind of closer matches the Jeep and gives it a little bit more protection. So the rooftop basket was 150 bucks, and to give it a little strength, I added a third crossbar in the middle here. So I've got 140 bucks in the crossbars and 150 bucks in the rooftop basket. I was able to add to it a couple of tool holders here. These are the rubber fist that you can buy off Amazon. Put the axe on this side here. Basically just use a conduit holder, again from your local hardware store. That was a 1-inch conduit holder. Put a set on this side, the axes on this side, and then the shovels on the other. And just for some added security, these 1.5-inch straps, again, bought these off Amazon, I think, just to wrap around the handle. That way, if this does happen to fail, it's still attached to the basket and it's not going to go anywhere. So again, just a 1.5-inch or a 1-inch conduit holder. The rubber fist just attached right to it. And the big thing that I did to kind of help give it a little more grip was, if you can see underneath there, I put some rubber tape. Again, you can find this in the electrical section, next to the regular electrical tape, but this is a rubber tape. So we put it underneath the conduit holder to give it something to bite into, so it's not going to move around on you. So we did that, and I loaded it up with the tools, took it out on some rough country roads, did not move a bit. So we'll see how it works on the trail here when we actually get off-road and get it really bouncing around, get that weight going. Couple of the other things we added on the back here, added the standard trasharoo. These things are great. Trash can for when you're out camping. Take your recyclables out, your trash out. If you're not going to use it for that, it's extra storage. You can put jumper cables in there. You can put wet clothes in there. If you've been to the beach, if you've been to the river, a lot of different uses. The other thing that we added, as I said, was communications. So Cooltech LLC is one of the first companies to come out with an actual CB radio bracket for the Jeep. It's a pretty sharp looking Jeep bracket. If you notice, they did kind of looks like the grill, and they put the JL in the middle. Got this mounted up, got a kit with the fire stick antenna and the cable, and got that mounted and ran. And a lot of discussions are worried about ground plane. Well, I can tell you, I'm running a Midland CB, which is the 1001Z. It's just what I had. I'll may change that out later, we'll see. But this is a $40 radio. I think when I bought it, I think they may be 50 bucks now. So it's a $40 radio. Only puts out 3 watts, maybe 4 tops, but I think it's really probably closer to 3. Got this thing tuned up, got the antenna tuned up, and I was able to talk to one of my friends on his base station 13 miles away. So this thing has got some range. This antenna kit works well. This was open country, obviously, me running down a highway, but 13 miles, and he could hear me, and I still have plenty of signal. I just had the SWR meter on still, so when we were testing, so that I was cutting some of my modulation. Once I got that off, my modulation shot way up, and I could have got 15, 16, 17 miles out of this thing. So it does work, and it does work well. Obviously those kinds of distances are not going to be car to car. I'm talking to a base station. but still, for my radio to put out signal to hit his antenna, 12, 14 miles away, this thing's doing all right. So the only other thing that we added quickly here is the RAM mount and the X grip. This is going to hold my iPhone 8 Plus running Gaia for our mapping for GPS for the trip. So those are the things we added to the Jeep to kind of get ready for the trip. The X mount, this thing is great. It's solid. Read the reviews. I saw a couple of people who videoed it falling off the window, and I'm like, I don't know. I put it up there. I'm like, how in the hell did they get it to fall off? Because I sure can't get it to fall off. So it definitely works well. The CB, got it mounted up. It's pretty small, pretty inexpensive. Got the roof rack was really the big thing to give us the storage we needed. So we did a few things to the roof rack to make it ready to go. We're going to test it out here this weekend when we get off road and see how she performs and how she functions. Again, it's not a Gobi, it's not a front runner. It's not going to be those things. It's not going to hold a rooftop tent. But I'll take some video of when it's all loaded up here, which we're going to do in a couple hours. Get ready to get on the road. And it works. I think it's going to work just fine for what we're doing for now. And I think it'll work just fine for a lot of people in their needs and what they want and what they need. So the Trasharoo and the Cooltech LLC CB antenna mounts. So I'll put links to the Cooltech LLC and to the roof rack and to the crossbars and everything in the description, so that if this might work for somebody else, we'll look forward to seeing how it works for you guys. After we're going to test it out, there'll be a video from the weekend and then after the weekend, and we'll test it and let you know how she works. All right, guys, I hope it was helpful. Hope you guys can use some of these things and use this information to get out there and have a good time and adventure.